Well, a very good Tuesday to you, my brothers and sisters, as we kind of journey on through the season of Lent. Hey, our discipleship theme this week is love on purpose, loving others well more purposefully. And over these weeks during the season of Lent, we've kind of been encouraging and challenging each other to take a closer look at our habits, especially as it relates to our lives as disciples of Jesus, kind of challenging and encouraging each other to more intentionally live on purpose as we think about healthy habits as disciples of Jesus. And this week, we're kind of honing in on the loving on purpose. Will you love more purposefully with your life? And it's easy to kind of talk about love, easy kind of, think about it and as a concept, what love is. And probably you hear that word love and all kinds of things come to mind. But for the Jesus follower, love actually has actions implied in that word, in that whole deal. And John, who is kind of nearing the end of his life in First John chapter 3, he writes these words to the church to make sure as we think about love that it's not just in our heads, but it actually makes its way into our hands, into our actions, into the lives of real people. So John, in his first letter, 1 John 3, verse 18, he writes this. He says, "Dearest children," sort of captured in this family language. "Dearest children," Grandpa John says to the church, "Dearest children, let us not love with words or tongue, but with actions and in truth." Dearest children, let us not love with words or tongue, with words or speech, but instead let us love with our actions, with truth and in truth. Words and speech, there's a lot of that going around, right? Talking about love and sort of the concept of love. But what John really exhorts the church on, challenges and encourages us to be thinking about, especially those of us who would call ourselves in the family of believers, that we better have a very real concept of what it means to love with our actions and in truth, as ones who have been loved well by the Lord Jesus. We ought to be loving each other well with our actions. And so on that Bringing It Home document, that devotional document that we put out every week, the last question on there, question number 6 this week, as we're challenging each other to more intentionally love on purpose, what's one step that you can take, that I can take, to purposefully love others well in your community in the next few weeks? As you think about your life as a Jesus follower, as a Christian, what's one step that maybe you can begin to take regularly and habitually to purposefully love others well in your community in these upcoming weeks? With the sacrifice of your time, maybe that's with the sacrifice of your treasures, maybe that's with the sacrifice of your skills and your talents. What's one thing that you can maybe begin to do or continue to do, sacrifice who you are to love others well, love others better, more purposefully in your community? I'm asking myself the same thing. And so as we encourage each other and challenge each other this week, kind of consider what it means to more purposefully love others well. God be with you as you consider that, as you become more aware of that, as sort of love makes its way from your head into your heart and then into your hands. The Lord Jesus bless you as you do that and do that well.